This is Curtis at Ace Per Head Studios, rolling out another podcast on sports talk. Today, we're going to go over who's going to be there for the Miami Dolphins at 6. We're talking a lot about who they're going to pick, which is a very, very important thing, especially for Dolphin fans. But because they put themselves in this position, they did pick up extra picks, but now they have to watch other people make their moves before they get to make theirs. But so far we've seen really good things from Chris Greer, so we got to believe that they got a plan. 49er trade came out, shocked me. We had made a podcast about the Dolphin situation. We talked about the possibility of trading back, but I really didn't think it was going to happen until draft day. And when it came out, I was blown away. Extra first-round picks to move back, to the 12th spot. Fantastic. I started to write an article about it. All of a sudden, next thing I know, they're trading up to number 6. I was ecstatic too, because there was some really good talent that I wanted them to get their hands on. I saw there was a first-round pick, but I was just really excited. There was a lot of activity. Fin fans, you love when there's action. But I had some Fin fans, write to me after my article over at Fin's News and kind of trying to bring me down a little bit and say, hey, look, maybe you want to think about this. Maybe you want to think about that. And so I got off the happy horse a little bit and began to look it over. Now, Dolphins made that move to 6. They got excellent value this year. People say, oh, it's only a third-round pick. Third-round picks? It's a day 2 pick. That can be fantastic. The first-round pick is, generally speaking, supposed to be 75% hit rate. Second round, about 50%. I think third round's like maybe 35, 40 or something. And you look at Chris Greer's pick so far. You got Brandon Jones. Picked him third round last year. Very good pick, man. I like what I'm seeing out of the kid. Nice pick. Then in prior year, they had Michael Dieter. Not so hot. But still, he's a lineman. Second year, we don't know. What is he going to come in and play center and really shock us? I'm not really betting on that, but still, right now he's batting 50%, where that's a little above the average ratio in the NFL. So that third round pick is nice. Yeah, the 2023 is a long way off, but 2023 is going to come, and it's going to be nice to have that second round pick. Still, they're at number 6 now, and they had to give up a first round pick and swap that 4th for a 5th. So there's quite a bit of extra value attached to that player they're going to draft, unless, of course, there's some miracle trade back where they just, the right player falls and some team wants to give up this and that for it. I don't know. I mean, that would be a dream miracle. But right now, the Dolphins have to do one thing. They have to find either a near elite player with that kind of value, 2 firsts, and a reduction of a 3rd to a 5th. They either have to get a trade back so they can reacquire that value and tack onto it, but I don't know if that's going to really happen. I'm not sure if I can see that happening. Or you have to find a quarterback that's good, because quarterback values are always overvalued. Even if Tua turns out to be great, you got a second quarterback there, you can ship them off, whatever it can be. But for me personally, quarterback at number 6 with that extra value tacked on, it's a little scary. I mean, I want a plan B for Tua. Not because I don't believe in him or anything like that. It's just wise. Look at Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh said you can never have too many good quarterbacks. Keep drafting quarterbacks. I mean, they had Joe Montana and Steve Young. That worked out well, right? I mean, that worked out very well. Look what the Patriots did. They had Brissett. They got, a second-round pick, I think, for him. And they got Jimmy G. They got a second-round. So there's always value attached. But you know what? I had my heart set on a few players. And now that they've moved back, yes, they have that extra capital, but it's going to be a little touch and go because they don't get the choice of the dances. They got to wait to see who's getting taken first. Now, when I was a kid, I loved like medieval stuff and mythology, especially Nordic mythology. Used to read The Lord of the Rings. I'd skip out of class, hide in the library. I had this old librarian, man. She really liked me. She'd hide me out in the back and I would read Lord of the Rings. And I always remember in The Hobbit, she had given me The Hobbit. And inside the Hobbit was a picture, this old picture, I think it was done by Tolkien himself, of Smaug, the dragon, sitting on the giant hoard of gold and silver. And that was like a dwarven citadel with a dwarves on. So dwarves and the dragons, they love gold and silver. And I just thought that was really cool. Gold and silver, man. I really got into it. When I got older, I had a friend turn me on to the idea of buying gold and silver. So 2007, I started purchasing gold and silver. And when I got that in my hand, I got that gold craze. So I was buying loads of gold. Not loads, but decent amount of gold, some loads of silver, loved my silver, and all of a sudden it started going up in value. 2007 I started, 2008, 2009, I'm like, oh man, 2011, shot up to the moon. I made a big investment, put a lot of money on it, I figured it's going to double, what's going to keep going up? Market went down. Now, 10 years later, just about, market's recovered, I've got my value back, all well and good, but it's not always about the product. It's when you buy the product and for how much. And so my passion for the Dolphins was to acquire as many picks as possible. Get as many picks as you can. If you miss on one first and you get an extra 2 firsts, you can kind of forget that. But now they've kind of put all their chips into the table. Essentially, they've almost equaled the value of last year's draft with 3 first-round picks in this single play by using 2 first-round picks. And 4th to 5th, it's still, it's a drop. So you're almost at the same value of all last year. And you got Jackson, you got Tua, and you got Igbo. So you got 3 players. The likelihood is 2 of those players are going to make it and be well. They're going to do well. If you get all 3, that's a hit. So now they're going to expend 2 firsts on this player. They cannot underperform. So anyway, the issue is, Atlanta Falcons. They're the face everybody wants to know. What are they going to do? Are they going to draft a quarterback? They're going to trade back? They're going to grab Pitts? What are they going to do? We did a video yesterday for Atlanta Falcon fans. And really, when you look over the numbers, they're going to stay with Ryan. How can you not? Unless you can get a trade partner for him. They're going to find somebody, whether it's Jerry Jones, he wants Pitts and he'll move up, or the Lions, or somebody's going to move up and take that 4th pick. And I don't think it's going to be, it could be for Pitts, and I think that's a bad sign for the Dolphins, because Pitts is the kind of guy. He's got that huge physical presence. He's got the great production. He's at a position that has high impact. To me, I don't mind them rolling the dice on Pitts for 2 first-round picks. Some of the other options, I'm a little less enthusiastic, but we'll take a look at that as well. So, more than likely, Falcons need picks. They're going to keep Ryan, trade back, and someone's going to come in there. I think the best case scenario, somebody comes up and takes a quarterback. That's the best case scenario for Miami. Because as much as I want a plan B, I really don't feel comfortable with the Dolphins spending 2 picks on, the third, 4th, or 5th best quarterback in the draft. That's just really not exciting to me. Because I think Tua does need to be taken care of. And if you're going to invest that much on a quarterback, is going to be, I don't know. It's a little curious. Now, so then after that's the Bengals. And, you get a lot of attachment. You're going to hear the name attached to them is Jamar Chase. Burrows and Chase, they're going to reunite. Not going to happen. It's the Bengals. Who knows? They could draft a kicker at the 5th overall. Sadly, nothing against you Bengals fans, but your organization does some curious stuff, Burrows obviously was a no-brainer, but it's all about Burrows. They got to protect him. You look at their offensive line. Trey Hopkins, 18th best center. Quinton Spain, 56th best center. Michael Jordan, who's the one that led up the tackle, led up the pass rush that got Burrow's knee shattered, 60th best. Then you got nice tackles. Riley Reif, 38th, but he's a little bit old, long in the tooth. Isaiah Wynn, 11th. Not Isaiah Wynn, sorry. Jonah Williams. He was the 44th. He's a bit of a small tackle, but you could see something. He had a very terrible injury that was his rookie season, then he came back out. And, he performed pretty well. He wasn't a problem. I find I had mentioned Isaiah Wynn because I found it interesting, just as a side note, that how Bill Belichick went with the small tackle, 6'4", about 305 with Isaiah Wynn. And now Bengals went Jonah Williams, 44th. There's this kind of like sort of movement towards the small left tackle rather than the gigantic 6'5", 320, So I just thought that was really interesting. But anyway, their line on the exteriors is decent. The interior is a disaster. You get Jamar Chase, you're not going to pick again till the second round. What are you going to bring in there? It doesn't matter who he's throwing to if he's getting broken. And you're going to have to give him confidence, Burrows that is, that he's not going to be injured. He's not going to be damaged. So you're going to want to build that line. And they had made a statement that we don't want to move out of that spot because we don't want to get rid of certain talent. And really, when you look at it, there's one guy that's really certain talent at number 5, and it's Penei Sewell. Now, I love watching a YouTube channel called Voc Lombardi. Really good channel. You should check it out. I think, everybody's got their different gifts of analyzation and evaluation. One of his gifts I really think is very good at, very informative, is offensive lineman. So you want to check out maybe his channel on Sewell. And he really shows you that this guy is a phenom of physical talent with agility and strength. But he missed last year. He lacks some technique. And so putting him at tackle might not make sense. But for the Bengals, they can do what we did with Tunsil. They bring him in, make him deal with less space inside, take that left guard spot to protect Burrows, have him next to, quality tackles, and then they can later on in the 3rd or 4th round put another lineman in there maybe or something. So for them, it just seems like Sewell is on their board. So you're going to figure we're hoping Pitts doesn't go at 4. We're hoping one of these quarterbacks goes. This way it takes maybe the desire for the Miami Dolphins to pick one of these quarterbacks at 6 with all this extra value attached. So really, if things work out right, Pitts could land right in our lap. It would be Pitts and Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase, there's nothing to dislike about him. He's a very good prospect. If the Dolphins were at 6 and they didn't have the extra value attached, I could have no problem with them taking Jamar Chase. I mean, the guy's like 6 foot, 205, very physical, 4.38 40. Huge production, deep production, chunk yards production in college. I mean, it'd be great. Put him next to Fuller. I mean, defenses would be backing off, and you could there's so many options. But with that extra value attached, you're looking at, if this is the way it shapes up, you'll have like maybe a Trey Lance or a Fields sitting there, or maybe Mac Jones if that's hype at 3. That's just really a lot of risk. But then you'll have Jamar Chase and Pitts. Okay, and Pitts had an amazing production, and he's a physical freak. And he's at the position that would most benefit Tua. Everyone knows that the tight end is the security blanket of the quarterback. Why is that? Because their routes are right in front of you. Because they can become matchup problems against linebackers on base sets. When they come out and bring the base defense, that tight end, a lot of times he's going to be matched up with a safety or a linebacker. And for a guy like Pitts at 6'6", now we talk about how Chase is a deep threat monster. Everyone's like, Chase. He ran a 4.38 at 205 pounds, at 6 feet tall. Pitts ran a 4.4 at 235-ish, 6'6"-ish. So he's got 6 inches on Chase. He's got almost 30 pounds on Chase, and his 40 is 0.06 less. Now that does mean a lot, but when you factor in that size and height, if you're a Tua fan, I mean, who really isn't, but you have to be hoping for Pitts to fall. But the concern is crazy Jerry Jones just going to make some kind of big move to get to that 4th spot. And that would just leave the Dolphins with Sewell or Jamar Chase or one of these quarterbacks. Now, Sewell, I mean, there's a lot to love about him. But here's the problem. Dolphins invested a 1st-round pick on Jackson, 2nd-round pick on Hunt. If they take him, Sewell, that's 2 more 1st-round picks attached. That's a lot of value. Now, if he actually ends up being a generational player, totally worth it. I would love to see the Dolphins have a mega line like in the 70s. That's how to be physical and be able to dominate. Now, the problem is Sewell's technique is hot and cold when it comes to run blocking. Right at this point right now, he's a little bit more of a pass blocker. I mean, I could see it, but 2 1st-round picks on Chase? Hell yeah, if he turns out to be a Hall of Famer, totally worth it. But you go back and you look, what is his comp? He's a bigger, stronger, faster version of Terrell Diggs, Diggs was drafted in the 5th round. Devonta Smith, if they had stayed at 12, would he have possibly fallen back? How much worse is Devonta Smith than Jamar Chase? Is it a full 1st-round pick worth? His comp is Harrison. Harrison was taken 19th in the 1st round. And then there's Waddle. I see some people in these mock drafts say, that Dolphins going to take Waddle at 6? I mean, that's like Ted Ginn flashbacks right there. I was like, I saw this. I don't know who the guy was who had that mock draft Waddle at 6. I started having like flashbacks and shakes. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, maybe he turns out to be great, but he had a little bit of injury history, just like, he didn't have as much experience. He was kind of like in and out. I mean, yeah, the guy is super fast, but Ruggs was taken 12th overall, and he got the same speed, and he wasn't any good. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a difficult situation. I think as Fin fans, we've got to be praying that the Falcons make a trade for a quarterback. Somebody wants Trey Lance or Justin Fields so desperately. They go up there, and it leaves the Bengals right there, and I know the Bengals are going to take a lineman. Now, not to kind of cry over spilt milk, but if the Dolphins had stayed at 12, there was some quality talent I could have dropped to them. When you go look at the list of the players, there's about 13 high-level players. I mean, the problem is a couple of them are cornerbacks, and so the Dolphins might have, best talent available might have been a cornerback, and they're not desperately destined. They don't certainly need that talent. But that's spilled milk. Here we are at 6th. So I would like to know what you guys are thinking. What do you guys want? Let's chat about it. I know we put some videos out. Ace Bread finally, there was some conversations. I said, I want to answer comments, and they were a little concerned I would jackass out, which I said, yeah, I'm probably going to jackass out, but just a little bit. So I'm answering comments. I'm getting back. And that to me, that's the thing. When I was young, I used to love to go to the bar. Go to the bar walking, hey, Mikey, 10-cent wings back in the late 80s, early 90s. You drink, you talk, you make fun of each other a little bit, and good, in a good way. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you have sports talk. You shut the door, got the crazy world on the outside, and for a little while, you just have fun. So I'm really taking your comments to heart. You're a little hard on me. It's okay. I probably deserve it. So let me hear what you got to think. What you guys think. Again, I heard some people say in the comments that, maybe I'm not in love with Tua or something. I love the kid. I don't want the Dolphins to take a quarterback at number 6. I think it's too risky. It's too risky. But in that situation, man, really the only value I see is Pitts and maybe Sewell and maybe a trade back. Now, I want to see Tua get his chance this year. I want to see him get some opportunity. Maybe the lineman will give it that to him. But to me, Pitts is that best chance. Now, another thing, I talked about Tua's velocity as being a primary factor. And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was really, he was a little hard on me, but he had some good points. And so I said, I'm going to put together a video on Tua that's going to show, not anecdotally, I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm actually going to take the film and I'm going to show evidentially what the situation is. And it can be concerning, but there's really good news to this. I'm so surprised that people aren't really talking about it because it's right there in your face. And when you see it, oh man. I think it could be very good news for Tua. I still think they need a plan B, though. So, Dolphins could be in a great position. I'm praying, actually, it's either Pitts or some kind of trade back. But we'll see, man. This draft is coming up. It's going to be a big, big draft. We're going to try to do coverage here of it, try to be on top of the situation. Thank you guys for having patience with me as I get through this camera stuff over here. It's a whole new deal. It's a whole new skill set I got to learn. So I appreciate you guys joining me. And if you stayed through to the end, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate that, especially the comments. And we'll catch you again soon. Take care, be well, and thank you again.